He's, like I said, he's considered a godfather. Mr. Gary Charles, man, thank you.
Pleasure to have you. Appreciate you.
Pleasure for you even saying yes to this to the MECCA podcast. I know that I sent you a couple of them and you watched them, and I want to touch upon those things, those topics. But more importantly, where does the Gary Charles story begin? Because you don't do a lot of interviews.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it all depends on which story that you're referring to, and I'm guessing you're talking about the basketball world, okay?
But how did you get into basketball growing up?
I grew up next town from here, which is Roosevelt. And in that town, we all played ball. I actually grew up with Steve Mills, the president of the Knicks. I grew up with Eddie Murphy, Chuck D, the rapper, and Dr. J from Roosevelt. He's older than us, but I can still remember the Dr. J day, when we had the Dr. J day. So in Roosevelt, which is a little suburban town, you did everything, meaning that your parents threw you outside. You couldn't come back in until it was dark.
Yeah, until the street lights was coming on.
That's it. So we played baseball, we played basketball, we played football, we bowled. I even bowled. And we were part of the different leagues. And I remember I played on a traveling team with a gentleman by the name of Mr. Simpson, who I considered my first mentor. And he always kept the kids out of the street. When I graduated out of college, the older members said, "Hey Gary, listen, we're getting older. We need some of you young guys to get involved.
Take over.
Take over."
Right.
So I did, and I created like a league for young kids in Roosevelt for like 200 kids. With that, I created an all-star team out of those guys to make them travel also. And I went to a thing in Jersey called the Little Lad. I used to play in that, the Little Lad in Trent, New Jersey. They have it.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, it was called Little Lad. Yeah, it was bitty, kind of like, because we started out in bitty basketball. And bitty basketball, that you play like on 8-foot rims. So back then, when I thought I was Dr. J myself.
Right.
Okay, we could dunk, everything else. We traveled all over the country. Those were probably some of my best time, because at those days, you stayed at different people's homes. And people opened up their homes to you. It was unbelievable. First time I ever rode a horse. First time I took maple syrup out of someone's tree, depending on where you went. I mean, people were awesome. So I never forgot those times, and so I decided to give back. But so I created the Little Lad, the team to travel to Little Lad. And I remember the first time I saw a young 12-year-old, and I think he was 12 at the time, and the kid walked in. He walked like he was a pro. He talked like he was a pro. When he was on the court, he commanded the court like he was a pro. I didn't know who this kid was.
He was like, "Who that?"
I was like, "Who is this little kid like this?" Well, at that time, the kid's name was Stephon Marbury. Okay, and I never forgot those things. And then there was another tournament that we would go to. It was called in Delaware. It was the Jim Dooley's the Delaware tournament by a gentleman by the name of Jim Dooley. And that's when you really got to see some talent. And I remember the first time I ever saw Riverside. Again, not knowing, we were just an average team from a little town. And they had, trying to remember, it might have been, I want to say it was Phelps was on that team.
Which, Derek?
Derek Phelps. And Red might have been on the Red Autry. I mean, they were loaded. Oh, and we ended up playing against a kid that dropped 40 on us by the name of Travis Best. Okay?
Springfield, Mass.
And that's when I realized that, wait a minute now, there's a bigger picture here. So if I need to keep up with these guys, I have to do a little bit better than this. So I decided to get that exposure to the kids in Long Island. So now I started to recruit in Long Island to get some of the better guys so they can get the opportunity to get scholarships. Okay, and I sent out on that mission, and I was fortunate enough one day through a kid named Derek Brown, who ended up playing for St. John's, who said to me, "You need to come and see this kid in Sewanaka, but he doesn't live too far from me." And I said, "Really?" The kid was in 8th grade, and I go see the kid, and the kid turned out to be Zena Hamilton. Yep, Big Z. So as I tell people, Z took us to the top. Lamar Odom and Speedy Claxton took us over the top. But by getting Z, other people wanted to play with us. So Z, to me, opened up. He didn't open it up. He kicked the balls in. Right. And I also want to thank, Ron DeClario, because Ronnie at that time had the vision to want to help another kid out. He said, "Hey, guy, I want him to play with Z. I want him to get that exposure." And that kid would skip to my loop. And then now, by getting Skip, it opened up the door for us to be able to get players in the city. And then next thing we ended up getting Dwayne Woodward.
Yep.
Okay, and then the Lamar, Speedy, and the funny thing is Speedy actually lives next town from here, Hempstead. All right, and Speedy was unreal. I don't remember us losing too many events
with Speedy at the helm.
With Speedy at the helm.
So who's your backcourt? Your first main backcourt with Z.
It was Skip with Darius Burton, who's now the high school coach at Baldwin.
Right.
You know, right here. Darius was also a soccer All-American.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he actually played. What was it? Was it Junior Olympic? Yeah, Darius was one heck of a soccer player and a real quick, heady, point guard. So, yeah, him and Skip, I would say to me were the first two, and then the next was Dwayne, who went to Boston College, and Jamal Smiley, who went to Illinois State.
Okay.
And he's currently an NBA agent, right now. So
I remember that name.
Yeah,
I've seen it somewhere before.
he went to Long Lutheran.
Okay. That's probably why.
Yeah, he went to Long Lutheran. But him and Dwayne was special because I would say that Darius and Skip were older at the time. So I think they were around when Z was a freshman, sophomore. So then those other guys were there, I guess, when Z was a junior.
Junior, right.
That was the crew, so to speak.
You said Z kicked the doors in. So his recruiting class, what, 91, 92? He was in that Felipe class.
Yeah. So actually that class, the top 5 guys in that class were Felipe, Allen Iverson, Zendon, Antoine Walker, and Danny Fortson, from what I remember, were like that top 5.
So you had what, Cincinnati, 2 St. John's, Georgetown, and Kentucky.
Yep.
And Z was one of the big ones, man. Like I remember Z when he went to St. John's. I was like, Z, why you going there? He said, I gotta go there. I gotta go there. And because the reason why I said that because Felipe garnered all their attention. And not that Z wasn't as athletic and as quick with the ball as Felipe, but Z probably needed to be a number 1 guy.
Z averaged probably his last summer 35 points a game.
Yeah, I know.
In every game he played. And I always remember at first he wasn't sure if he was going to do it, but he was very close to his dad. His dad really wanted to go to Syracuse. Now that it's been X amount of years as a Syracuse, and I said that for a reason, Z really wanted to go to Syracuse.
That's what he said to me. Okay. I gotta go.
Okay, he really wanted to go to Syracuse, but he was close to his dad, and his dad wanted him to go to St. John's. All right, so at the end of the day, it turned out to be St. John, but I can say it now, not that he ever regrets it, but that was his first choice, was to go to Syracuse. And it was funny, I remember when we were deciding, okay, how we're going to do it, he didn't want to be a second fiddle with Felipe, the announcement. He figured that if he announced it after Felipe, his thing was going to be afterthought. And that's why we announced before Felipe did. Like, people want to know that history, but we did that for a reason.
That's smart. So then you had, because that was the crux of your AA team. There's a
grassroots.
Grassroots. I apologize.
So no, it's not your fault. So let me just tell the audience on that. AAU is a league in which the kids play in AAU, and then there's a championship that's played down in Florida, and it's called AAU. So everyone calls everything AAU.
They lump everything together.
Yeah. True. We don't.
Right.
We call it grassroots basketball because that's the beginning. Right. Because we don't go there. We end up in Vegas and we end up doing other things like the EYBL. EYBL team don't play in AAU. Nope. Okay. Under Armour teams don't play in AAU. Right. It's all grassroots basketball. So I've always made sure to tell people it's grassroots basketball. Okay?
That's great to inform everybody because, like you said, everybody's dumping it. They dump it in. The only thing that's distinguished is like CYO and A.
Right.
That's the only thing that's separate. Right. So your grassroots team, there's a rumor spread out there, and it's a New York rumor for the most part, maybe a myth, urban myth. Ron said that he put on the Panthers uniform. Is that accurate?
He didn't. No, he didn't. And I'm glad you brought that up because I like to straighten some things out. Back then, the rivalry was Ron's team versus, and he was with Riverside,
Church, right.
the Panthers, because we had Lamar. So imagine that competition. And then there's a rumor out there that Lamar played with Riverside. He was playing with Riverside at the time. That's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, he was with us. I have pictures and games to prove it. Back in those days, the championship either went to Riverside or it went to the Panthers. But let me also say this. The beginning of all this started with Riverside and the Gauchos and Doc Naselli, Madison Broncos. But the Riverside and the Gauchos were those programs. When I first got going, I looked at them. I was trying to get to where they were at, Riverside and the Gauchos. Okay, so I want to thank them for creating that, because they set the bar.
Right.
So it helped me to understand where I needed to get to. So when we had Lamar and Speedy, we could compete. As a matter of fact, we beat them in Portchester with Speedy. Speedy got the MVP. Okay, the following year they got us.
Who was their team for the most part?
Their team. So their main team that Ron Mark was talking about, Lamar was on, were Hailey Barclift. They had Reggie Jesse, Anthony Glover, Ron Artest. I'm trying to remember. I'm missing. It was Reggie, Ron, Anthony Glover. There's somebody else that I'm missing off that team. So my point is that
probably another guard.
It was another guard. It was Eric. I'm trying to remember now who it was. I thought Reggie was the 2. Who was the 3? I don't think it was Jamal Robson. Jamal Robson, I think it was before that. You know, Riverside was always loaded. Okay, but here's the thing. That was their team. So whereas our team at the time, it was either Speedy. We had Speedy, but then Speedy graduates, and then we ended up getting Khalid Al-Amin. So it was Khalid Al-Amin going up against Hailey Barclift. Okay, and then we had a kid by the name of Nolan Johnson. All right. From Boys and Girls, who ended up going to Oklahoma and was a Big 12 player, was on the team. Malik Allen was a big guy for him, and he went to, Elton Brand, that's what I'm forgetting, to be honest. Okay, they had Elton Brand. So it would be Elton Brand versus Malik Allen. Now, Elton Brand was just as big as Elton, so Elton ended up going to Villanova. Malik ended up going to Villanova.
And then Elton went to Duke.
And Malik ended up playing 12 years in the league. Wow. So just think about those two guys going against each other. So what I'm saying to you, so that was that matchup. Then you had Ron, Lamar. That was the matchup. If you go into the tapes of ISA, you will see those tapes of them going against each other, you know, all the time. And we used to laugh because we would say, okay, it's the spring, it's our turn to win. Or they might say, okay, it's the fall, it's our turn to win. Because the championship went through us. You know, at the time, after Speedy left. I don't think Speedy was just unreal. Speedy, and obviously it was Speedy versus Eric, you know, all the time. And they were best of friends.
Yeah,
okay.
High school teammates.
And teammates. Okay, high school teammates.
Right.
Okay. So the year that Riverside, for example, went like 56-1, the game that they lost, you know, I was there. We were in a tournament in California called the Izzy Washington Slam and Jam. They lost to Baron Davis' team. Okay, that's who they lost to, which obviously, you know, that's telling you something, right? So they didn't just lose to any bum.
Right.
All right? And Lamar keeps saying Lamar was on that team when they did all that. No. Lamar, stop doing that. Okay? He was with us because we ended up beating the Kenny Bruner team. I think they had Tyshawn Prince and a kid named Eric Chenowitz. Oh, no, Shea Cotton. Now, Shea Cotton, as you know, was like the LeBron James of his time. They hadn't lost in 2 years. Okay? So we beat them in an unbelievable game. Carl Hobbs, who's the assistant coach now at Rutgers, but at the time he was at UConn, him and I still talk about that game because there wasn't social media back then. We didn't even really use cell phone back then. There was cell phone, but we didn't use it. But we won that game. So the championship was going to be us versus Barron's team. We couldn't play it because our team was scheduled to be in Vegas for Sonny's event, the big time. And Sonny said, "That's great, y'all got there. Get your behind.
Get over here to Vegas.
To Vegas.
Get to Vegas."
So we had to skip the championship. Okay, and Lamar and I still talk about that. Like, damn man, we missed that championship game.
Could you have got him?
Huh?
You would have got him?
It would have been a hell of a game. We would have had a chance. I thought that
now you're in Barron's homeland.
Homeland.
Yeah, that's
and Barron was no joke.
Right.
I thought that year Khalil Amin had gotten the best of every guard, but we hadn't played Barron. Barron was a special player. I'll say this to you. I thought we would have had a chance because the rules were different. The rules were you had to play 5 guys in the first quarter, another 5 guys in the second quarter.
So you were deeper.
We were deeper.
Right.
We were really deep.
Right.
Okay, because that's how we ended up beating Kenny Boone and them team who hadn't lost in 2 years at Shea Cotton.
Right.
Because we were just deeper. Because they had us actually about 12 in the first quarter. And then we came back because our second group, we were really loaded. So I just want to make sure I set that record straight in that, no, Mama was there and Lamar, was here, okay? But I'll tell you a famous story though that people don't know, so I'm going to give you this exclusive here.
Here we go.
Lamar tells me one day that Eric Barkley wants to play with us. It might have been that same year. It was that same year. I said, what do you mean Eric Barkley wants to play? And you got to understand something, okay? I don't want to be a hypocrite. I have Khalil Amin at that time.
Yeah, we're going to talk about him.
Okay? So I don't need Eric at that time. But Eric is big time, nice.
Right.
That's like, I don't need the aggravation. As a matter of fact, I received a phone call from Ernie Lorch about it. And the funny thing is, I could tell you this right now. I remember this because at my house at the time, the phone was up against the wall. No cell phone. Remember now. I'm not dealing with cell phone.
How long was your extension cord?
How extension cord was probably from there to here. I can see the TV. Okay? So I'm like, Ernie, what's up? He said, I want to talk to you about Barkley. I said, who? Charles Barkley? Because I was being funny. He said, Gary, stop playing. And I hear rumors that Eric wants to come over. That's not right. But I'm like, I said, you don't have to worry about that. That's not going to happen. Eric does call me. Same thing. He said, Gary, this is Barkley. I said, oh, Charles? He said, stop playing, man. This is Eric. I want to play with you. I have no idea to this day why he was upset with Riverside.
Right. I was going to ask you that, too.
Yeah, I have no idea to this day. Never even asked him. Because I wasn't even going to entertain it. And he said, I want to play with you in Connecticut. We're going to go to a tournament up in Connecticut called the Wayne Simone Tournament, in which everyone's going to be there, including Riverside, and including DeMar Johnson's team, who was DC Assault, who was loaded at the time. So it was a great event. So Lamar calls me and says, hey, pick me up at the airport when you pick up Khalid, because Khalid was flying in. I said, okay, I'll pick you up at LaGuardia on the way up. So I get there, and who's at the airport? Lamar, Khalid, and Eric Barkley at the airport. Eric Barkley purposely missed his ride or whatever, so they left, Riverside. He gets in the van. Man, why is this guy doing this to me, man?
Put you in a pickle.
Put me in this pickle. We get there. I said, E, come with me. So we're going. I said, I got to take you somewhere. I'll go through the different, there's a couple courts. And I see Ernie. I said, Ernie, I bought Eric for you.
Here's your player.
Here's your guy. Eric gave me this dirty look. All right? But I did it. So what happens, we end up playing each other in the championship. And Khalid missed a jump shot at the foul line at the buzzer that could have won it. And Eric Barkley had a hell of a game.
He was killed.
Okay.
He was motivated. He was
motivated. Okay. But I never regretted that decision.
No, that's
okay. It was
decision.
It was just the right thing, to do. Because over the years, that rivalry with those guys, those point guards, was something special. And it wasn't worth for me to get into a situation with Ernie,
right?
About that. And the other things I wanted to try to explain to these kids that you can't just be doing this back and forth,
right.
Stuff. There's a famous game that we were playing a semifinal game at ISA, and against Shaheem Holloway. The backcourt was Shaheem and Todd Miles. Who used to play for me also, but in that particular tournament, ISA he was playing with his boys. So that's the backcourt. Lamar's not there. He's running late. But we're playing, and I think Speedy is balling. I think it was Speedy and Nolan Johnson. They're balling. We also had Iron Miller.
I remember
Iron?
Yeah.
Exactly. We had Tavares Bell. Maybe one of the best dunkers. Out there. And we up a couple points. Lamar comes running in. The place is packed. So now the people are going crazy. So at halftime, and I still haven't played him yet, right? So at halftime, my guy was like, okay, we be all right then. Lamar's here. And I said, I'm not playing him. So my assistant at the time, Nate Cadigan, he said, Charles, are you out of your damn mind? I said, I'm not doing, man. I'm tired of these kids doing this, man. There's got to be more than just basketball. We need to be teaching how to do the right things.
No, he wasn't flying in. He was.
No, man, he lived 5 minutes, man. He's 5 minutes away, right. Man. So I'm pissed at him.
Right.
Okay? So the crowd's going crazy to the point that a couple of the fellas, you know, if you know what I mean, come over to me like, I got money on this, man. You need to play him.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not playing him, man. So I'm just telling you this right now. Now, let me also say this. I also knew I had Speedy Claxton. Okay, let me just say that also. All right.
You had an ace in the hole.
I knew I had an ace in the hole. All right. Speedy's balling. All right. So I don't want to front. I knew I had Speedy, but I wanted to teach him, you know, something awesome. So I don't play him the whole game. We win the game. Okay. Now, how about this? Now we have another game. That was a semi, but now we have a championship that night at Riverside Park in Manhattan. Okay, against Riverside. Riverbank Park, okay, and that goes back to what I'm telling you about Ron. Like Ron, he wasn't with you, man, because that's when they had E-Bark, they had Ron, they had Glover, they had Elton Brand, they were loaded. Reggie Jesse, we in the chip. Now, but that's the year, like I said, with Speedy. So Lamar, I guess, was a sophomore, I think, at the time. We beat him, okay, and we actually beat him in that particular game handily. And the reason I remember this is because I'm subbing guys out. I said, let me sub these guys out because if any of you try to do anything crazy, Vaughn is going to clock you. Because Vaughn didn't play that, okay? So Tavares Bell said, let me stay in. I said, Tavares, I'm telling you. I said, okay.
He crazy.
So let him stay in, right? So he goes in for one of his, goes in for one of his patent dunks. Vaughn came under and said, clocked him under his leg. Boom, he went flying. We thought he was dead. All right? But then he got up, and then we all busted our laugh and said, we warned you. I told you not to go ahead and do that to Lamar. All right? But I also remember in which Lamar, I wasn't sure he was going to show up because he was upset that he didn't play. And his aunt, Janine, who was big in all of this, okay? I don't get L in the program without Janine, his aunt. Janine, like she believed in Gary Charles, and I'll always be grateful for her for that. So she played a major part of that. So now, this guy named Fadri, who we're all close with, who was with Upstate Basketball, his brother was going out with Janine.
Yeah, I don't know him.
Okay, so Fadri from Upstate. So Fadri was with Lamar the whole day. He said, "Al, did you talk to Gary about how he didn't?" He said, "No, I didn't get a chance. I didn't want to do it." But the Riverbank championship had nothing to do with it, so I played him. The next day for the championship, he's an hour early.
The first morning there, yeah.
He's an hour early.
Yep.
Okay.
He learned.
Right. And Eric Barkley comes in and says, "We're gonna get you a monster, not this one, not this one." We win it. At E, I'm sorry, I gotta say this. E missed a foul shot.
E missed a foul shot.
E missed a foul shot. So we go up. Lamar hits a shot with 6 seconds to go to put us up 1 because it was a tie game. Here I say. So now timeout is called. Eric is bringing up the ball. They call a foul Speedy. I'm going crazy at that point. Okay, and I appreciate the fact that the ref didn't call a tech on me. I appreciate that, man.
Who was it? You know?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
So now Eric is going to the foul line. And I'm like, damn it. Eric's like an 80-something, foul shot shooter. I'm like, this guy's going to hit both shots maybe. And I don't know if I purposely called a time. I don't remember to
ice him.
Right. All right. And then Eric goes up there. And it's how I say it. So, place is going crazy. And he missed it. And Malik Allen got the rebound. Okay? And that's why I always remember these things because Malik was that beef we needed to go compete against Elton Brand. Got the rebound and we win. Speedy and Lamar end up getting co-MVP. And I actually have that picture of those two together that year of getting co-MVP. So here's the other myth and how this got started about Lamar playing with them. In Portchester, they beat us the next year. They beat us. I think it was that year that they beat us. And they were taking a picture. Eric Barkley, Ron, Elton, they were all taking a picture together with Glover. They asked Lamar to take a picture with them. And Lamar takes the picture. And people have used that picture and say, yeah, that's what Lamar played Riverside, right? Here's the thing, though. The people who have been saying that, I want you to know this. Look at the T-shirt that Lamar has on. On the T-shirt, it says Adidas.
Yeah.
Lamar was upset that we lost, so he took his shirt off. And now he has a T-shirt that says Adidas. All right? Everyone knows Riverside was never part of Adidas.
Right.
They were a Nike program.
Yep.
We were Adidas. Lamar never would have had another shoe brand.
Right.
Okay?
Shirt on.
So that's what happened, y'all. Okay? We were in Portchester. He took his shirt off and went and took a picture with the guys. And then people took that story and ran with it.
Right.
That was Adidas shirt. Take a look at the picture. You'll see the Adidas logo.
I'm going to look next time I see it. I know that Dave Joint does. He puts all those old pictures.
He puts his own?
Yeah.
There's Adidas on there. And I think he had a UNLV pair of shorts on, whatever. But, that's the deal. And actually, Lamar just did a story a couple of weeks ago. It was on, I don't know if it was on HBO, on something that he was on, in which he tells.
Yeah.
He says that I was with the Panthers, and he said my family knew Gary Charles and boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so, and that was his aunt. That was his aunt Janine who orchestrated, all of that. So, Janine, thank you.